Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. Really
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
And I just want to first start off by asking you, how are you doing? How are you?
I'm good. I'm really, really good. I'm happy to be here. I am really at a great place in my life, if I can say that.
Awesome. And, you know, I'm going to dive right in. What prompted you to with this collaboration, and why was it important for you to be a part of it?
The reason why I wanted to partner with Tena is because I feel like there are real issues out there that we don't necessarily talk about. They're taboo, they're embarrassing, and I love keeping it real. Tena wants to keep it real, and I think we should talk about things about like aging and menopause and incontinence. I think those are things that are happening to people. They're happening to us, especially women, and if I can say this, because you're a woman of color, growing up in my household, we didn't talk about those things. We didn't talk about, like, I didn't even know when I started my period. I thought I got shot, honestly, and I was about to die. Um, and I feel like I want to change that. I want us to be able to talk about sex and relationships and what's happening with our bodies, because we're not alone. And women now, I mean, everybody's living longer, right? We
Mhm.
know how to take care of ourselves. We know how to look good. But are we truly talking about the things that are important, the things that can make our lives better? And I feel like Tena's products are to help women, not embarrass them, but to help women go out there and have a really great life and be able to enjoy yourself and not be embarrassed and not be scared to leave the house. And those are real topics.
For sure. Especially, I definitely understand with those taboo topics.
Yeah.
Um, I remember I went away to college, and my dad was like, okay, now it's time to have a talk about the birds and the bees.
Oh
I'm
boy.
like,
The birds and the bees.
I'm 18, like, so
He
I told,
tried. At
yes,
least he tried.
I know he tried. Um, so for Black women, what can we do to better prepare ourselves for our body's changes during this stage in our lives, menopause?
Yeah, I think one of the things is accepting it. It's the first thing. Accepting that your body is going to change. Your hormones are going to are going to change. And sometimes we don't necessarily pick up on it. We just think, why am I cranky? Why did I snap at him? Or why did I snap at my kids for no reason? And I think those are the things that we have to start paying attention at. A certain age, your body just changes, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like we should be proud that we're alive, and getting older and getting wiser. So the alternative is not what we want, right? We want to keep living.
Mhm.
So in order to do so, we should be able to talk about things that are uncomfortable, talk about things that maybe, if you walked into a room growing up that people stopped talking about, right?
Mhm.
And I think we have to normalize it. There's nothing bad about it. I think we have to stigmatize the wrongness of it. And it's like, you know what? I'm in my 50s, things are changing. And if I have friends that are the same age bracket, let's talk about it. Let's help each other. Let's uplift each other in a different way by staying healthy.
Yes. And look, speaking of healthy, this was a great segue. Thank you for that. How do you keep your overall well-being healthy from the mind, body, and spirit, establish that interconnectedness? Because it's not just about the physical health.
No, it's not. And it's, you know what, that sometimes is really hard because we go, 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 go. We want to do so much. We want to go places, we want to see friends. And I think every now and then for me, I hit a wall, and that's when my body and my mind and my spirit
Mhm.
are telling me, slow down, shift it a little bit, take time for you, reconnect with you, whether it's going in the backyard and having my feet on the grass, whether it's taking a bath, whether it's just, staying off social media or the phone just for a few minutes just to recenter. I think those things are what I try to do. But listen, like everybody else, we fall off, we have good intentions, and then you keep going until your body again tells you, you know what, you're not paying attention. And so that's what I want women to start doing, is paying attention.
Mm. And with that, there's a lot of conversations. You said sometimes you'll just go, go, go until you hit a wall. And there's been a
Yeah.
lot of conversations about the strong Black woman complex, or the narrative. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts about demystifying the strong Black woman narrative?
Sometimes it's to our detriment, right? That
Mhm.
we are so strong. And there are times when people say, "Oh my God, you're so strong. You've been through so much," and it infuriates me a little bit because I think that just because I'm strong doesn't mean like I don't hurt, doesn't mean like I'm not insecure, I have insecurities. It doesn't mean that I just need help sometimes.
Mhm.
And being strong doesn't mean that you don't want other people to still be in your life and help you. And we do get that label, and it's good and it's bad.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. And so, what is your advice for women on how to tune in or feel more in tune with their bodies?
I think it's listening. It's really about listening to your body. I mean, when we get a headache, we know it, right?
Mhm.
When we have a tummy ache, we may know it or we may not know it. I think it's staying in tune. I think if we slow down enough, we'll hear it, we'll feel it. There are times you wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, a little tougher to get out of the bed, right? And I think that's a way of your body saying, take care of me. Because if you want me to last, I mean, I say this to my kids all the time when I say, brush your teeth, brush for longer. And I'm like, those teeth have to last you your whole life. So we have to remember that this is the one body we've got, so that we have to take care of it. So now, with COVID, everybody's gained a few pounds. So we're trying to regroup and, lose it. And that's another way of checking in and saying, you know what, it's time for me to maybe work a little less or shift things a little bit and make sure that I, do get some exercise. I do drink water. I do take some time where everything is shut off, the TV, there's no phone, the lights, and just regroup.
Yeah, you know what? I'm 35, and I had my biggest lesson about listening to my body recently. I had
But,
fibroids, and didn't I know I had fibroids? I passed out on a flight, and
oh
they
my God.
Yes, and they were about to do an emergency landing. I had to get oxygen. Thank goodness for the flight attendant. When I woke up, I was in fetal position in the back of the plane on top of her lap. And
No.
yes, she was rubbing my hair, massaging my back, and was like, I am so sorry. I hope I'm not interfering with your personal space. But I have kids. And if they were flying by themselves, I don't care how old they
Oh,
are. I was like, I don't care. But me not listening
wow.
to my body, I just assumed surface level. I'm like, oh, my stomach's big. I just need to eat more. But I had the mood,
Right.
I had the bladder pain, I had the back pain. I wasn't listening to the other things that were happening.
Right,
So,
exactly. Thank you for sharing that. I totally understand the whole fibroid of it all. When I was trying to get pregnant with the twins, I had fibroids that had to be removed also. And, you're right. We have to listen. We have to take the time and take care of us.
for sure. And as your body, as you mature, as you age, and even going through different stages and phases, whether you gain a little weight, whether you get older, or whether you become pregnant, our body changes. So, what is the best way to continually, fall in love with your own body?
Oh, I love that. I think so many times when we look in the mirror, what do? We go, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish this was better. I wish this was like 20 years ago. And I try every now and then to look at my body and go, this body gave me 3 babies. Like, find something that you like. I like my legs, they're skinny, but they're great. I just feel like if we can do that, like even, I don't know, once a week, once every other week, look in the mirror and don't criticize it. Find one thing that you can go, I'm happy about that, whether it's your neck, whether it's your wrist, whatever it is. Find something that we can sort of reconnect and love our bodies, because I think it's all it's all, mindset too.
Yeah, it's all the way how you talk to yourself too. Uh, yeah.
Absolutely. When I couldn't get pregnant, that was a big deal for me. And like I was down on my body. I felt like it couldn't perform. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And I was jealous of other women that were pregnant. So it was really great to change my mindset. And I do believe energy is really important in what you put out.
That's good. That's good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't thinking about kids, but like when I woke up, my doctor was like, okay, now we have to get you pregnant. And I'm like, with who? With
Oh,
what?
doctor,
What
what are
in
you, was he
quarantine?
hot?
She was like, the way the fibroids were positioned, if you wanted to get pregnant
Ah,
or tried to get pregnant, it would not have happened. And my surgery was supposed to be 2 hours,
oh,
it ended up being 6 hours. It was just like a
wow.
lot. So now
That's a lot.
yeah, so now I'm thinking about like freezing my eggs and just also
Oh,
just me looking at other women. I'm like, oh, like I really do want, like, just that mindset.
yeah, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're listening.
Yes, thank you. And
Mhm.
what advice can you give menopausal women for talking to their partner about the changes in their everyday life, just in general?
Woo. You know what? Tell them to have some grace. Have some grace. Hold on tight. It will pass. But I think it's important to, let your partner in and know that, do it in a sexy way. Do it wearing lingerie. You know what I mean? I think do it in a way that they understand what's happening and that they can support you, because that's what being a partner is all about, right?
Of course. And now, what does 50-something-year-old Garcelle know now about love that she didn't know before?
Girl, I'm still trying to learn. I think what my 50-year-old Garcelle knows is you got to love you. Mm-hmm. Bottom line, you got to love you. Relationship or no relationship, it starts with you. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm really good and I'm really in a good place. And I think when you can get to a place like that, then you're open to anything, and who knows what will happen. But I am definitely much more comfortable with myself now. And, I love myself. I understand it. I understand when people say, oh, you have to sort of mirror what you want. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm trying to do, while loving myself, no matter if I have a man or not.
Mm. Well, you know what? I saw you just tweeted something recently and
I
fell out laughing. Stop asking grown women, WYD, what you doing in the middle of the day? We are at work, working. Does dating get any better? I'm like, why? Do you have nothing else to say? I'm doing the same thing I was doing at 10 o'clock this morning.
And that is not a sentence. Can we have a sentence?
Yes, complete thoughts, complete sentence.
Right, a complete thought. Yes, exactly. We're working. What are you doing?
Right, exactly. Oh my goodness, that is so annoying. And I just have a few more questions. Mm-hmm. So you were born in Haiti.
Yeah.
And so what age did you come to the States?
7. I was 7. I didn't speak a word of English. We moved to Massachusetts in the dead of winter. I didn't know what was happening.
What is your fondest memory growing up in Haiti?
Haiti?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a few. I remember I was born in St. Mark, but we lived in Port-au-Prince. Mm-hmm. And every summer I would go back to St. Mark, where my grandmother had her house, and she also had a store, a little sort of, mom and pop store in the front of the house. And I remember running to her house. She always had like big jars of candy. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's like my fondest memory of visiting my grandmother and getting candy out of the jar.
Yeah, grandmas are the best. And both my grandmas always had candy jars too.
Yeah, and I have candy jars too now that I'm a grandmother.
Really?
Yeah.
You carried that. So, so what is something about, your Haitian culture that you carry with you to this day?
I think it's pride and hope. Mm-hmm. We are the most prideful people, whether we have everything or nothing, right? And I think we're also hopeful. I mean, Haiti's been through so much, but if you meet any Haitian in Haiti, they're hopeful and we never give up.
Yeah.
We never give up. I feel like we're really resilient. The country's really resilient.
I definitely feel that you have carried that with you, because throughout your career, you've been able to evolve. You've been able to pivot. You've been able to, wow, from acting, you have your podcast, you're a host, you're a mommy, like still breaking barriers at any.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. And then this is actually my last question. Being that you're a mom of 3, for first-time mothers or mothers trying to figure it all out, do you have any parenting words of wisdom you can offer?
Yeah, I say, don't do it all yourself, really. Ask for help, get help, whether it's so you can take a shower, somebody's watching the kids, like anything. I feel like so many times, like you said about, being strong, I feel like when we're moms, we feel like we can do it all. It's okay to ask for help and, use your family. That's what they're for, or friends, or, it's okay. We don't have to do it all the time to perfection. It's not even possible.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like that also ties into listening to your body, be gentle with yourself, how you talk to yourself, all those things that we were saying earlier. So
exactly.
Yes. Well, this was great. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And thank you for sharing with me, and good luck with the babies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.